name is Melinda Gallant, and I want to welcome you to the first show of Cape Conversations. That's right, we're going to have a conversation all around the Cape. We're going to talk to a lot of neat people. We're going to see some very interesting places, and maybe, just maybe, we'll all learn something and have some fun at the same time. So come along with me, Cape Conversations. We'll have some fun. We are at Heritage Museums and Gardens, and we're going to find out some little intricate secrets about Heritage Museums and Gardens, maybe stuff people don't know. So I am here today with Judy Selleck.
All right, yay! I'm excited. This is going to be fun.
Yeah, it is going to be fun. So, Judy, tell me.
Yeah.
I know you are the queen of Heritage Museums and Gardens, although there are other people who claim the fame, but you are the true queen. How long have you worked at Heritage?
Oh my gosh, I really think I'm going on 29 years. I got here May 2nd, 1982.
Wow.
Back in the day.
Back in the old days.
Yeah, it feels like old days now.
Was tell me a little bit about the history. I know this was Lily's stuff. Is that correct? That's how they make a museum, right? Out of somebody's stuff?
Somebody's stuff, yeah. What happened here was that Joe Lilly, Josiah K. Lilly III, and his wife Josephine wanted to found a museum on the Cape because Joe particularly had spent 30 of his summers here on Cape Cod.
Really? Yeah. In this area or somewhere else?
In Falmouth.
In Falmouth.
Yep.
Okay.
He used to be here when he was a lot younger as a child. And he grew up sort of in a museum environment anyway because his father was known as the Quiet Collector. That was Josiah K. Lilly Jr. So Joe Lilly wanted to create a museum.
Wow.
And his first thought was that he would have it in the Falmouth area because that's where he used to spend his summers. But the tract of land that he looked at had too many hills, and he happened on this piece of property here in Sandwich and loved the rhododendron, loved the, how it wound around through all of the gardens and everything.
This was a farm, right?
It was.
Originally?
It was the Charles O. Dexter Rhododendron Farm back in the 30s. Charles O. Dexter actually was a textile manufacturer from New Bedford. And he was given 6 months to live, so of course he lived for 20 years, which is what always happens.
Yes. Don't believe those doctors.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, there's no stamp on your foot.
No, that's right.
Expires. It expires. That's right. So he lived here into the 30s, and his wife ultimately sold it when he finally did pass away. Continued to cultivate the rhododendrons and so forth, and it went into 3 or 4 different private hands over the time between the 30s and the 60s when Joe Lilly happened on it. And then Joe came here, really thought the tract of land would be perfect for a museum, and decided he would purchase it, and he did in the 60s, and decided that he would first build a car museum, and that's where we are right now. We're at the car museum.
Wow. Now, I know, and just for full disclosure, I actually worked here for a period of time.
Yeah.
I did.
Yes, we worked together.
we did. You set me straight on everything, so that was good. Anyway, but how many cars are in the collection? Because I know there's a bunch.
Yeah, there's a bunch. I would say probably close to 40 now. What's happened over the years, the core collection was about 35 when Joe was alive. And then over the years, we have had calls from different individuals who have cars that have been restored and are in beautiful condition, and they call us and say, gee, would you like a car? And we say, of course. But it goes through a lot of criteria. It has to match the years that we have, that we don't have a car from that particular century or that particular decade. And so we have acquired several different cars over the years, and that's added to the collection. What's nice now is due to our recent renovations to the barn, we can now have all of our cars on either in storage here at the barn or on display, and we like to rotate them.
That's great.
Yeah.
I remember, and of course I've been here a million times, when you've got a kid in Sandwich schools.
That's right.
And even if you don't have kids in Sandwich schools,
right.
I think they sometimes come here to visit.
Oh, they do.
All the schools from around the Cape.
Yeah, we get a lot of children, grade school tour trips and field trips.
My favorite car was the Gary Cooper car.
Oh yeah, the Duesenberg.
The Duesenberg, which was my favorite. Which is, you could just see Gary Cooper so tall and so handsome riding around in it. And yes, I'm probably dating myself.
I was just going to say you are, my dear.
I was going to say though, but Gary Cooper was the Brad Pitt of his day.
He was the Brad Pitt of his day, and he used to race Clark Gable. The two of them had these incredible cars, and they used to race each other. And they were quite the twosome.
That's
handsome
neat.
dudes.
That's really neat.
Yeah,
that's
definitely
really
handsome
neat.
dudes.
So I know there've been a lot of new additions and whatever.
Yeah.
But can I just go back to about a museum? I don't think a lot of people understand how museums come about, but they do come about by
They
just
do.
somebody's collection.
Yes.
I mean, it can't be like, gee, I have a collection of doorknobs,
No.
although I suppose there is a doorknob
Well, there probably is. I think there's a
museum.
museum for every subject you can think of. But in
Right.
Joe's case, Joe Lilly's case, he grew up in a museum environment. Many
So-
of his dad's collections went to the Smithsonian Institute in Washington, D.C. And as a matter of fact, after Joe built this building, he built the American History Museum, and he did it purposely to honor his dad, who had antique firearms and military miniatures.
Oh, I see.
So
I
those
see.
are the things that went into that museum. And
I
then
see.
ultimately he decided he needed something for the ladies and created the art museum.
Right.
So,
And the carousel.
And the
that's
carousel
there.
is located there. And, you know, it's a great asset. We're on 100 acres. It's a beautiful tract of land
Right.
here.
What is the one thing,
Mm-hmm.
that you absolutely love? And maybe it's not what we might think,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Well, you know, I would like to say there is one thing, but I have to say that there's something for everyone.
But if you were here,
if it was
just-
me,
just you.
it would be the gardens, because I'm an avid gardener,
Uh-huh.
and I love the fact that this year the gardens are more spectacular. The renovations and the things that we've put in, the hidden hall, the flume fountain, and even this patio, have contributed to the overall look of the place and has created a really beautiful scenario that any gardener, you know, not just myself, would love to come and check out.
Thank you so much,
Oh,
my
you're
dear,
quite
dear, dear
welcome.
friend. I
You're
love you.
welcome. Love you
Thank
too.
you.
Thank
Alrighty.
you. Bye-bye.
Steve Dolan, how the heck are you?
I am absolutely wonderful.
Good, good. As I began with Judy, I had to disclose the fact that I actually worked here for a period of time.
Yes,
and
you
it
did.
it was fun and interesting and challenging, and
Mhm.
the grounds have never looked better
Thank you.
ever. They are absolutely gorgeous. So I want to talk about, though, the place that I find so zen-like and so relaxing, and a place you just want to go and sit and just wash away the world, and that is the Flume. Tell me about the Flume.
Well, the Flume Fountain is one of our features that when we built Foundations for the Future, it's one of them.
Right.
And it is a 220-foot long runnel, as
Right.
in designed by some of the mills. It's designed after some of the mills in New England.
I see.
And so you have a 220-foot long runnel. Water goes out and drops down 24 feet into a reflecting pool. That's about 45 by 65-foot oval. That's about 2 feet deep. It was designed by...
And this summer, nobody jumped in it when it was so hot, did they?
No, we didn't. We didn't
Okay.
have anyone taking a stroll.
No
in it.
streaking
No,
or
no,
any of that through it?
no,
Okay,
no
well, that's good.
diving
Okay.
board
No,
off
but
there.
okay, all
It
right.
would
Just
be
want to double
for
check. Okay.
an abrupt
And that would be not allowed.
stop. No, not allowed. Not
Okay,
allowed
all
at
right.
all.
Okay.
So, but it was designed by Steve Stimson Associates,
Yeah.
landscape architects down in Falmouth. Very innovative guy. It's a great design. It really is.
How does the water funnel back? Or is it funneled back?
It is. It's all recirculated water. It pulls. The pond has about 35,000 gallons in it.
Wow.
And it is
That's
kind
a
of
big hot tub.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. In the summertime, it
Big,
gets
big
hot.
hot tub.
But we use recirculated water. It pulls from the center of the pool,
Uh-huh.
and then it's pumped right back up. And it's actually the runnel, which is the square channel that you see. There are two channels in there, and it's a little bit of an optical illusion because the runnel, the 220 feet, is
Right, which starts up here, right?
starts right
Yeah,
up at the ticket
yeah,
office
yeah.
and goes 220 feet. It's
Yeah.
perfectly flat, absolutely perfectly flat. So what they designed is there is pipes that go inside the runnel, and you have about 22 diffusers, which are little round discs that let water come up. So it appears that the water is going in from one end and coming out the other.
But it's not.
But it's not.
Oh
It's
my gosh!
It's an optical illusion.
Oh my God.